I had the ick for about probably like 3 days, honestly. It wasn't long. It was a quick little ick. And it was in the beginning when I was still like trying. Quick ick.
Welcome to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
It's cancer season.
I was like, she's gonna forget.
Cancers make some noise, cry a little bit.
One of our friends, I was like, no one's gonna say anything. No one's gonna say anything. One of our friends group text us happy cancer season.
I don't know why she did. That was so sweet. She's not even that kind of friend. It was Jenny.
It was Jenny Jones.
Yeah, we were planning this trip, and I was like, "Here's the hotel, everybody book." And then she was like, "Happy cancer season, Ashley."
I was walking down the street. I was like, "It's starting. It's starting."
So we have a long history with cancer season, and people still ask which episode this very specific thing is in, and I would love to tell you, so you can go back and listen.
You know?
Yeah, it's Maria Del Russo's episode.
Oh my God.
So summer, July, cancer season 2018. No, 2019.
Yeah.
2019,
Yeah.
right before we left that apartment, the old apartment. I just remember it was in the old apartment.
Oh, yeah.
I did this whole rant about the attack on cancers, spearheaded by Refinery 29 on Instagram. And people still talk about it. But one just came through. I'm not going to get, guys, do not DM me with these. You've been trolling us. You've been trolling us for years.
Ashley trolls me about cancer season, then you guys troll her.
But one just came in that.
Do you guys know what we're talking about? Like Refinery 29 does the whatever as
whatever
as
sign.
zodiac. So they're like sandwiches as zodiac signs, cake as zodiac signs.
And what was like, for example, all the zodiac signs as pies, Cancer, just the crust.
It was just an empty pie shell.
One was zodiac signs as things at McDonald's. Cancer was water cup. So here we go. Here we go. Chipotle. The signs as things at Chipotle. Taurus, fajita veggies. Virgo, side tortilla. Aquarius, quesadilla. Cancer, extra napkin to wipe your tears.
Get the fuck out of here. This is insane. Capricorn gets a 3 tacos.
Leo gets Tabasco. Sagittarius gets cilantro.
Pisces did get the water cup this time.
Pisces got the water cup, but it's just a napkin.
That's the thing you throw in the trash. Yes. You pick up the dirt with and throw it in the trash
to wipe your tears.
It's like, is it because you guys are sensitive?
Yes, but no one else even brought a personality trait into it.
I know, it's
like
hot sauce,
everything.
tacos,
it's like Aries got the fork, Pisces got the water cup.
What did I get?
Cancer, extra napkin to wipe your tears. Gemini, half chicken, half steak. That's so cute.
Gemini always gets good stuff. There's never an attack on Geminis.
Anyway,
ever.
Happy cancer season.
I say this every year too. I want to know whose job it is to build out those Refinery 29 lists. What if my job every day was like, what are the signs as fruit? And that's what I did all day at work. I
think it would be fucking fun to do.
Great ass job.
Yeah, what a dream job. It's like Bella's job, and Bella's our guest today. Nobody has more of a dream job than Bella. If I didn't have this job, I'd want Bella's job.
We say it all the time. If I wasn't me,
work for me.
If I wasn't me, I would want to be Bella. Bella, no one's luckier than you. Don't ever.
No, I mean,
we're just kidding.
Are we kidding? Well, Bella will tell us.
We'll troll you during the episode.
Bella reveals she doesn't like the job that much. She's like, I'm actually looking to move on. Can you imagine if she quit on air? No, we were like,
would you release the episode anyways? Break the internet. I would love it. Bella, don't quit. But like, maybe
that would perform well.
Can you drop some other tea?
Okay, so there's a long list of things to talk about. They're all fun. They're all exciting. They're not some
infomercial.
Yeah.
Well, we actually only have to plug one thing today. That's the Montreal show. If you guys are in Canada, you want to take a fun trip, we have a show at Just for Last Festival Montreal, July 28th at Club Soda. It's going to be so much fun. It is truly one of our favorite festivals ever. It's such a great time. You can get passes to see lots of shows or just us.
Yes, I am so excited. We always said that JFL, when we went in 2019, was like the best time of our lives. But
that guy.
Listen, you fuck that fucking hot guy. It was so fun. I was just like living my best life. I will say, didn't love the venue. It just wasn't right for us.
It was weird.
And it's fine. You know, it's like, that was our first time doing it. In Montreal, we'd been in Vancouver, but you know, whatever. It was like, this isn't really a girls gotta eat vibe. And then we saw a roast battle at Club Soda, the venue. And we were like, this is where we need to be. Mm-hmm. And so we're so excited. So the venue is exactly what we want. It's like 2 levels. It's just going to be like a wild party vibe. So if you guys come to Montreal, come to JFL. I mean, the lineup, it's like everybody.
It's the 40th anniversary of Just Laugh's biggest comedy festival in the world. So lots of people have been on our show. You'll see there. Chris Stefano's coming. Maybe you'll see him at our show. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be really fun. So there's a couple tickets left. You guys can grab those at our website as well.
And this week, as the episode comes out, we are leaving for a trip. We're going to take a real vacation. Hopefully, I am so excited. We are going to Greece. We're going to Mykonos. This is something that I wanted to do for my birthday, around my birthday in 2020. We didn't go for obvious reasons. And we're just going to stop over and do a night in London and then head to Mykonos and then go to Spain. And then I think I'm going to go to Portugal. But I'm most excited about Mykonos. We have a house with like our friends, and I've been planning a lot. It's taken a lot out of me to plan this trip from top to bottom. But I did it, and I'm so excited. And we have an amazing itinerary, and I'm just so excited. I've never been there.
I am so excited. It's also the trip I've wanted to take for a long time. It's the only place in Europe I haven't been. And I haven't traveled a lot in my adulthood, like since I used to travel a lot by myself, and I stayed in hostels. So now to like stay in this beautiful house, I'm so excited to like do it right with all of our friends. And we're going to do a travel episode while we're there.
Yes. So there actually will be no episode next week. So soak this one up and then enjoy your 4th of July, enjoy your cancer season. And we'll be back on the 11th with a travel episode. It'll be just like really fun. We're going to record some of it from Mykonos, bitch. I'm so excited for this trip.
I can't wait. You've done so much to plan. You know, when we met, if you guys like don't know the background of Ashley like she will do a lot, but she never wanted to plan, but she likes a lot of activities. And I'm the opposite. I'm a huge planner, but I want no activities. And we have really switched roles.
You don't plan. What do you mean you're a huge plan? You don't plan anything. We'll talk about it. We'll probably fight about it in 2 weeks. So get ready for the tea.
Nothing to have a fight about.
No, I'm
appreciative, and you planned everything, and that's it.
Well, it's funny because this is the group. Last summer, all of July, I was in the Hamptons with this mostly the same group, honestly. And I planned a few things, but mostly our friend Sean planned that trip, like the month. Like we all jumped in, but like he planned a lot of activities. He found the house. Like he dedicated hours and hours and did a lot for that month in the Hamptons. And I feel like he tapped out after that. And he was like, never again. You guys really broke me. And so I just kind of had to take the reins on this Mykonos trip, and Anushka helped with some reservations because you just got to get ahead of this stuff. Like you got to figure it out weeks, months in advance.
You've done a lot. I really appreciate you.
And the outfits, like I'm going to have a panic attack packing for this trip.
That's why I was thinking about getting a clothing rack and hanging everything up and being like,
that's a cute idea.
Each single day. Cause like I'm going to Google this, but you and I are going to be away for weeks. So I need to like get some tips on how to like pack for a long trip like that.
So Lillian Charles has, who was also in the app, and she's incredible in the Vibes Only app, and she's been on our show. She does a lot of great stuff on packing. One thing I don't always do this, but I keep it in mind is she says, easy way to pack for especially long trips is to stick to like one color palette. So you kind of just have your shoes and things that all go together. So I sometimes keep that in mind. Like I was like, I have these red shoes that I'm dying to bring, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to do the white shoes. Like I'm going to keep to some, I don't know. Like it's always in my mind. Like she was like, maybe your color palette for this trip is going to be kind of like neutrals. You're going more color, like you're going navy, you're going just black and white and beige. And so that's like a hot tip, but she's so great. Lillian Gray Charles on Instagram.
We need more people doing this. It's very stressful. I try to also not bring stuff that only go with one thing. So like something that's I'm going to only wear it once. It's only going to go like, I like to bring, like you said, white, black, tan, and I can mix everything up. Otherwise, I'm sitting here budging, like, can I mail stuff back to myself in America?
Yeah. Like if you're going for that long, you have to be like, I'm going to wear these pants twice or 3 times. I'm going to bring this black tank or this black shirt and wear it with these pants. Like you have to, you can't be out here 15 outfits.
I mean, we're going to be gone for weeks.
And then I got to still bring like yoga clothes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's a whole nother thing.
I'm not doing that. I am doing 20-minute HIIT workouts, shoeless in my room every day. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. and that's what all she wrote.
I haven't worked out this week. I'm highly under maintenance. I got my eyebrows microbladed. I got keratin treatment in my hair, which I'm really loving.
Yes.
I have not used a straightener in a week and a half. I'm getting new nails. I'm under construction because I don't have anything else going on in my life.
My nail journey. My nails are ruining my life. It's like the one thing I can't get a handle on. I ordered press-on nails. I can't get a handle on it. But speaking of other things that are taking over our life, vibes only.
Do you want to hold hands about it?
No, wait, listen, quick plug this week, just to let you guys know about Vibes. If you're new here, you haven't heard us talk about it. This is our company that is sex toys, vibrators, blow gel, and a lubricant. So we have a product line for your personal pleasure and a connected app that connects via Bluetooth. And there is erotic story content in there that is designed to give you this incredible orgasmic experience. There is video content, not erotic video content. It's kind of like your informative sex and dating related TikTok style content. And then there is a controller for the vibrators. And the Rayna is currently sold out as far as the toys go, but you can always get your Ashley and your Gigi, and you can get on the wait list for the Rayna. And people are loving these stories in the app.
Yeah. The erotic audio is not something I ever really played with so much, and I am obsessed with it. And we have some really good news stories this week, new videos.
There's a theme that's new in the app. So today as you're listening, but last week we drop it midweek, and there's a photography theme.
So we, in the video section, we have an incredible boudoir photographer. Her name is Haley, and she's showing you the best poses for nudes. So she shows you how to do it and then shows you her photos and how they come out. It's incredible. We have Francis Ellis talking about wearing lingerie in the bedroom. So he'll talk to you about putting it on, and then Haley will show you how to style it. It's really fun.
And then the story, the erotic audio experience, if you will, is a photographer. So you go in for a shoot and things take a turn. It's so hot. His voice.
It's so sexy.
It's like camera. Oh my God. And you don't even know what's about. I mean, you can probably guess what's going to happen, but it gets really hot. Of course, I just wanted to read a review that we got. So we got a DM. She says, I never thought I would be sliding into a sex toy company's DMs. I also had never really been into touching or playing with myself before. My hubs and I had used toys together in the past, but I always felt like it was boring alone. After you talked more about the app on the podcast, I got curious. I tried the app alone, and I made myself orgasm for the first time. Like head blown, mind blowing emoji. Keeping the year, the annual subscription, she means, and getting myself a new toy for my birthday. I love that because, like we said, you guys can get in the app if you don't have the toys, or vice versa. You can obviously use the toys manually without the app, but we recommend them together. But I love that she was like, I'm going to explore this content, and now I'm going to keep the whole year. She obviously did the 3-day trial, which we offer for the annual subscription, and she's going to get a toy to go with it. I fucking love that.
I love it. And I love what Shampoo Dram said last week. We've heard other therapists echo this. Ian Kerner, who's also in the app, who's a world-renowned sex psychotherapist, talking about just varying the ways that you pleasure yourself. And so audio erotica is such a different thing that so many people haven't experienced. And like you said, we have a 3-day free trial. So if you guys want to get in there and just check it out, whether or not you have the toys, it's just a really incredible, immersive way to masturbate.
Yeah. So again, check that out, guys. Let's talk to the Android users. There's more than I thought, but we are working on it. We're working on it. It has nothing to do with us. Like, there's a different process for Android that is a little bit more difficult, honestly. So it's their fault. And we're working on it. It's ready to go on our end. So, we will push that out as soon as we can. You can get it on the App Store. Again, there's a 3-day trial with annual subscription, or you can just pay for a month, try it out, see if you like it, connect your toys, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, guys. Okay, so speaking of this, I have something that I wanted to ask you earlier, and it really made me giggle. And so I'm curious what your answer is. So you work on a lot of the content, all of the content for the erotic stories in the app. And we were talking about one about an athlete, and you were like, I wrote it because, I mean, who's better than me? So you say all the time that if you could be anybody, it'd be like LeBron James. That's who you want to be. Like, you think of yourself as an athlete, as a basketball player. You wrote it from the point of view, like, who's going to write from like the male basketball player point of view better than you? Okay. My question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you always want to, did you always want to be a basketball player, like an athlete, and that's why you slept with all those athletes in college? Or is it because you slept with so many athletes in college, you now fancy yourself LeBron James? Which came first? Were you trying to like fuck it into your body, or did this come from it being fucked into your body?
Oh my gosh, what a question. First of all, let's back up. So yes, we want an athlete story in the Vibes Only app. This is in progress. The vision is a basketball player. Mm-hmm. You know, you caught his eye during the game. You're courtside, obviously. You're a queen. And
can you hear the sneakers on the
Oh my God, that's a great idea for the sound effect. So we were thinking of what writer to use for this. And then I was like, I'm just going to fucking write this. Like, I know sports. I fucked so many athletes. I know what I want. I was like, no one else can write this. I got so turned on writing it. If you guys don't like the athlete story when it comes out, it's going to be a couple weeks. I don't care. It's my pride and joy.
If you guys don't like the fucking your stepbrother story, just know that that's all me. It's like the one story I wrote in the app. I actually wrote them all, honestly. But
no, Rayna, stop. I'm not right. I'm not like, I haven't fully written a story. I'm editing them all.
Yeah,
but we have writers.
I've punched up the stepbrother thing because it's my fantasy.
Yes. And Rayna's written a lot of concepts that we then give to a writer. Yeah. But yeah, listen, the athlete one is all me and fucking flowed out of my body so quick. I did it in 10 minutes.
I was like, what flowed out of my fucking the bartender?
I wrote 500 words in 10 minutes, just done and done.
I flowed out of my body was fucking the bartender, fucking your stepbrother, and I think I helped a lot with the lesbian stuff.
Rayna keeps saying fucking your stepbrother, and they have not fucked. So they might, but they're doing a bunch of trilogy. Free shit. We're not having the fuck. Okay. Anyway, to answer your question, I mean, I was not a good athlete. So it's not really me. Like, I like LeBron because he's like the GOAT and I love his confidence and I just love LeBron. But it's not that I like want to be a pro athlete. But I mean, when I was in high school, I just liked confident guys. Like most of the guys I went for were just on the football team, on the basketball team. But then the guy I ended up with after high school, my first like serious boyfriend, he wasn't an athlete. And I was like, that's a bummer. But then I got to college and that was who I gravitated towards. And I do some jokes about this in my stand-up, but I went to Clemson. So I did not like the frat guy Southern. I didn't like the way they looked. I didn't like the way they dressed. I didn't like the way they acted, the way they talked. So on the other side of the demo at Clemson, being like a D1 school, is like there's a bunch of athletes running around. So it's like, that's what I was into. Of course, there's some middle ground there. There's guys that aren't athletes or they aren't frat guys, but I just kind of was into that. So, and then one guy that I just really fell for freshman year, and then we kind of just went back and forth for many years, even like post-college, we'd hook up the here and there. We were never like boyfriend, girlfriend. That would kind of became like, you know, it's like you fall for somebody, you fuck somebody, you have really good sex with them, and then they almost kind of become your prototype for what you're into. Yeah.
That's why I am so creepy with tall, bald guys with beards. Like,
like the one guy. Like, it's kind of just started with the one guy. Yeah.
Have you ever heard me say the word archetype?
No, that was good.
You didn't even pause. I was like, wow, she just fly right past that archetype.
I mean, I don't want to be surprised that you used a big word. That's insulting.
Never used that word in my life. But it felt good. Nice.
Okay, so speaking of athletes, one rec I just wanted to throw out was that we mentioned last week was Hustle, which did you finish it?
I have not. I forgot to finish it. I will immediately run home and finish it. I loved it.
So we started Hustle, which is Netflix, Adam Sandler. And since we're talking about basketball players, I mean, the cameos are insane. It's like the whole NBA is in that fucking movie. But I love it. I loved Adam Sandler. I love the story. It's not based on a true story, which I thought it was. It just feels like it is.
And Adam Sandler, he's a scout for the
and he's a scout.
What's the 76ers?
The 76ers. But it's like the NBA actually had to get involved in that movie. I mean, they're using the 76ers. They have all these players. It's like in Philly. I loved it.
Cool. I loved it. We had a nice sleepover with all of our girlfriends, 5 of us. Well, they're more your friends, but now they're my friends.
And then while we're doing this, the J.Lo doc, did you watch it?
Not watched it yet. I got really into her. I know. Listen, I'm catching up.
Well, I loved it. I love J.Lo. I think she's an icon, and she's like such an icon as like someone to look up to as we age. Because she's like, this is halftime, bitches. I'm 50.
No one looks better.
Like, I love that mindset of like, I'm 50. This is just the first half of my life. Like, I'm just getting started. That energy, I've just always loved her because she's so like, I don't care if you don't think I can dance or sing or act. I mean, she does care, but it's like she's had so many haters and so many people criticizing her and not taking her seriously her entire career. And she just keeps pushing through and is like, I'll prove you wrong. And I have a lot of thoughts about like the about J.Lo like not getting awards, like an Oscar. Cause I'm like, fucking Oscar, you're bigger than the fucking Oscars.
Never thought about it.
Who cares about these dusty old people, whether they, think about how many people have gotten an Oscar, you don't know who the fuck they are. They haven't made impacts on people's lives the way J.Lo has. Like, I think she kind of came to that conclusion, but a lot of it revolves around this Oscar thing. And I'm like, who gives a shit?
I mean, I
get it. I get that it's like validated. It's an award, but whatever.
It's validating, but it's like, who cares about these people that are giving it to you? And I will say every year I make a big list of the Academy Awards and who's nominated Best Actor, Best Movie, Best Actress. And I try to watch almost all of them, you know, every single year. I have never liked the movie that wins Best Picture. Ever.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Well, it's like, how many people have gotten Oscars that are terrible people too? Like, who cares? Like, she's a global icon.
I know.
Also, this organization has like notoriously snubbed women, people of color. I'm like, who cares? So that was my only qualm. And I do feel like she came to this conclusion of like, I'm not doing this for the awards as it is, but it's like, I wish she would have been like, I don't give a fuck. I'm bigger than the Oscars, bitch. Like, that's my kind of energy.
Was the tone like that? It's sort of like looking behind the curtain. She's like being vulnerable. Like that's just not how she feels.
She is being vulnerable. I mean, listen, I do understand. I do get it. Like, she's been in 40 movies and hasn't got an Oscar. So you feel like you aren't taken seriously in that part of your career.
I love an old school J.Lo movie, The Wedding Planner.
But I mean, J.Lo, like her debut was like where she blew up with Selena.
Oh, right.
I mean, that was incredible.
What's the one? Made in Manhattan? I love a J.Lo movie.
Yeah.
All right. I have been a fan, throwing it back, of J.Lo since In Living Color when she was a dancer. I used to watch it after school. Yes, when Jim Carrey's name was James Carrey.
Stop. Oh my God.
Nobody that listens to this podcast knows what In Living Color is.
Speaking of Rex and things we love and content to consume, we would like to take this moment to talk about one of our favorite podcasts, other than this one, of course.
So he is no stranger to the pod, and neither is she. So Jordana Abraham and Jared Freed host You Up podcast. It's a Betches Media show. They've been on this show multiple times. She's come on once. He's been on tons of times. We've been on their show. It is a fantastic dating podcast. They do a lot of emails and they go through scenarios, and their advice is just so fantastic. And they come from such a different place, I feel, because she is married. She's had a longtime boyfriend. Jared is single. So I love the advice from like two very different types of point of views.
Yes, they really talk about everything dating related.
They cover a lot of stuff, like tons of ground. So like dating apps, or if you don't want to be in dating apps, like how do you meet your soulmate at the bar? They talk about obviously getting ghosted, weird sexual encounters, funny dating app interactions, things that are confusing.
I told Jared this, but last summer, I'm like trying to bring up the Hamptons again, but I was driving back after the month and I was like so sad and I was like so tired and I was like hungover and I was like about to fall asleep at the wheel. I was like, I don't know what to do. I do not want to pull over and sleep at a rest stop. And I put on You Up because I was like, I need Jared screaming and I want to hear the content. And like, I got so invested in these stories. Like they answer a lot of emails and they tell a lot of stories. And of course I love Jordana too, but it was like the perfect thing I needed to keep me awake and invested in something.
It's so funny you said that because I discovered Jared too on a road trip. And I listened to him on another podcast and I was like, this guy's advice is so interesting. And I DM'd him and was like, would you ever want to come on our show? So Jared was one of the first guests we ever had. Like the fourth guest we ever had on the show.
Yeah.
Because we heard him on a podcast. So you guys can hear Jared and Jordana on You Up. The podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you guys listen. Plus You Up is on tour. They have live shows that are super fun. Lots of cities. You can get your tickets at betches.co/YouUpLive. Again, that's betches.co/YouUpLive. Check out all of their live shows. And of course, listen to them anywhere that you can listen to podcasts.
Okay, so a big announcement in my dating life. I am back on Raya, where I belong. I had it before and I think they've changed some things. I feel like everyone when I was on it before, like 3 years ago, was like, everyone just looked like a model. You couldn't do a little quote about yourself. It didn't say like your interests. Like I felt like it was all just a slideshow set to music. Every guy had like LCD sound system and it was just a bunch of modeling pics. And so I just wasn't finding anybody. I just wasn't that into it. But these guys on Hinge are not it. I just want someone that I'm like really impressed by and is like doing big things. Not saying that you can't find that on Hinge, but I was like, let me fire Raya back up and like see what's going on over there. And I'm so glad I did. I redid my profile, got my new face on there, and the caliber of people. I mean, it's just CEOs and athletes and just, it's incredible.
This is like a plug for Raya.
No,
like,
I mean, so well, I'm just like, I'm happy to be on it. Like, I feel like it's where I belong. You know?
I mean, I feel like when we started this,
oh my God, I just got a message.
Who messaged you? Was it Trevor Noah?
Oh my God, someone.
Oh my God.
Did you
look
die?
At his eyes.
Are you kidding me?
He's in Austin, which I will move to.
And that's the thing. You can get people from all over. So I got this British guy in there.
Who's on there?
Who?
My brother.
Your brother's on there? Bella!
Why am I screaming? Okay, I am dying to see him. So anyway, I am loving it and I like it because I'm like trying to find an LA boyfriend too. And it's just people from all over. So anyway, this is a dating show. You guys want to know what my dating life is like. I'm back on Raya and I just got a message from the hottest fucking
Maybe I'll go
dude.
Maybe I'll go on Raya. You guys
to fly to Austin right now. He said, what's poppin', Ash?
You know that I'll go to Austin.
Excuse me.
Anytime.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
I'll tell you what's poppin'.
That pussy.
Jack Harlow, what's poppin'?
I gotta get back in these streets, you guys.
Well, do you want to be on this?
Yeah, I'm trying to be on this. I am on Raya. I just have never made the profile. I've been accepted.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I accepted.
Let's get in there.
A couple years ago.
Let's pick your song.
And I just feel like you should date where you think that, like, you should make a list of things that you want and date in those places. So, like, if you want somebody that has a lot of stuff going on, get on Raya. If you want to date a doctor, go to a bar next to a hospital and meet a doctor.
Yes. And I just think this is funny because it's relevant. So my interests, I just thought you'd like my interests because one of them just came up. They have a big list of interests. Some of them are kind of random, but hip hop music, dogs, beaches, Mexican food, hotels, charity and causes, fitness, writing, Rihanna, LeBron James.
LeBron James, you can select it. He's a selectable interest. I want to be that famous that somebody can select me from a list as an interest. That is crazy. Like, who else is on there? Like, is Elon Musk an interest? Like, can you sort by people?
No, it's just random. And I don't know. I mean, there's
nature, country music,
Australian shepherds,
movies,
seafood,
trucks,
Joe Rogan,
Korean food,
trucks. Ernest Hemingway,
Lizzo,
Chrissy Teigen was random. That's kind of random.
Cats.
Bob Dylan,
snowboarding, horror movies, fragrances. I'll tell you what a slump my dating life is in. I went on a date last night with my friend and her new man.
I was like, what?
I third wheeled her date. He is so beautiful. It's shocking. But I was wondering if you ever had like an experience like this. So my friend had been with somebody else for like 7 years or something. And I was like pretty close to their boyfriend. I hung out with them all the time. And I really liked him. I have no hard feelings. They just broke up, whatever. And this is the first time I like hung out with her and like a new man.
Yeah.
And it must be weird for him too. And like, I brought it up. I was like, this is interesting because I used to spend a lot of nights with like her and her boyfriend at their house cooking. And he like was like cooking for us. She was cooking too. He had his shirt off. I walked in the door. He had his shirt off. I was like, I guess I'm staying.
It's I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Sorry. That's so rare for me.
It's
a wet dream.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, are you trying to fuck both of us? A little bit. He is so beautiful. But I was wondering if you ever had any instances like that, because it was just, it's a funny scenario to be in with like the new person. And I wondered how he felt about it. So I like brought it up and he was cool about it.
What did you say?
Oh, I was asking. So I was like digging for tea. I was like, I'm gonna ask questions I know that she can't ask, and I'll just be really intrusive in front of her. So I was asking about all of his past relationships.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to think, because I've spent so much time with my friends and their partners, but it's kind of just who they're with now. Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking like Kate and Jay, and before Ham, Corey, I feel like didn't really have a serious person that I hung out with like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably for me too. As I get a little older, it's just that's the person that they married.
Yeah,
it's just interesting when a new person like subs in and to like see your friend in like a different relationship.
Do you like her in this relationship?
Yeah, I like her. Okay. I like her. Yes, I like her in this relationship. I needed her to find a boyfriend because I'm on 25 group chats with her that are active all day, every day, and he has taken her attention away from me, and I love it.
Well, so
I needed it.
I know you're on so many group chats with her, so we have one, the three of us. So I was like, last night I did just go back into Hinge to see what was going on. So people,
I was like, I'm on Raya where I belong. I went into Hinge.
So a few people had liked me. I just wanted to check him out. So I see this guy that liked me, and I just wasn't really into it. He was hot. He was traditionally hot, but I just wasn't feeling the vibe. But I screenshot it and I sent it to this friend of ours. I was like, have you gone out with this guy? Because he's giving your roster. Like he looked like her type, the type of guy she's been going out with. And as it turns out, she did know him, and he shouldn't be on Hinge.
It's really like shocking. And I was like trying to be like, I was like, sometimes people delete the app and they don't realize they didn't delete their profile. But this guy has been in a relationship for 3 years.
Well, he liked me. I didn't just see him on the app.
He's active.
He's active. Like it wasn't.
Okay,
like,
so let me ask you a question. If you see your good, actually just a friend, we'll qualify different types of it. If you see your friend's man on a dating app and they're clearly active, are you telling them?
Oh God, that's just so tough. I mean, probably because he's out there. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that like I caught him doing something. He's out there, right? So it's like, yeah, but then I'm like, it just depends on the friendship too, because people do have like open relationships. So I guess it's like a case by case basis. But I remember when I moved here, I got on Bumble and I saw Rob and I knew he was dating somebody and he was like panicked. He was like, oh my God, I thought I deleted that. This isn't a hot take. You have to delete your account. You can't just like delete the app off your phone. So yeah, we always want to give people grace that like may just be on there without knowing it. And of course he deleted it right away. He was like, do you think anyone's seen this? I was like, just relax. You didn't do anything wrong. That is like a tough call. I mean, to me, it just, it's so blatant. Everybody sees you. You're not high. So it's like you're either doing something open or you're just like a real piece of shit.
To me, it's like, I would probably tell almost anybody, whether it was like a coworker, an acquaintance, like it's different than if I walked in on your man at a bar with somebody else. Like I can just screenshot this, send it to somebody and be like, I had nothing to do with this. Do with it what you will. Here's the information. I'm not involved in any way. I can there's nothing for me to explain. Like if I see my friend's man at a bar with another girl, there's 17 scenarios that it could be. It could be their cousin, their sister, their coworker. Like this is just like your man's on a dating app. Here's a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
So I think I would tell most people.
Well, and it's also, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the relationship that you might have with that person. Like if I was friends with a couple, like had individual friendships with them both, and I saw one of them, I'd probably send it to them first and be like, do you know you're on this? Because like I did with Rob, like him being like, oh shit, no, I don't, I didn't. So I don't know. It's just, that's going to be a case by case basis, but yeah, I wouldn't feel bad about it at all because this is public.
Right. There's also no reason for me to get on the phone with you about it. It's not like I don't have to dissect body language, tone, anything. It's just like, here's this thing. I'm screenshotting it for you. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
And I think that like most guys in like normal, healthy relationships would be like, oh yeah, I forgot to delete my profile. No big deal.
Okay, Rayna, I have one thing I have to tell you. Okay, so
I love a live reveal.
What? I'm trying to think how to do this. Why don't you tell the listeners what I got you for your birthday?
Oh, the cake?
Yeah.
You sent me a strawberry shortcake from Milk Bar, and it's my favorite thing in the world. And you sent me a nice note.
So, like, how was it delivered?
So, I've been meaning to ask you about this because it's clearly your handwriting on the card.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a card.
But like normally if you order something online, they write the card. And it was clearly your handwriting. So somebody knocked so loud on my door, it scared me, and then ran away into the stairwell as fast as possible. And I live on the 11th floor, so no one is going downstairs in the elevator. It was, I've been meaning to ask you this for days. It was a note that you clearly wrote, and the person absconded into the stairwell so quick.
Well, first of all, I could have very easily had a TaskRabbit come get the cake and come get the note and say, knock on Rayna's door and then scurry. But no, it was me.
You knock like a 300-pound man.
I knocked like the cops.
That knock was so crazy.
I honestly don't know why I did it. I just wanted you to hear it.
All the pieces were there for me. You texted me, what are you doing right now? Which you never ask me because you generally know what I'm doing in general all the time. It was the loudest knock. You wrote the card. The person ran so fast into the stairwell.
So, like,
did you walk 11 floors down?
Yes, and so did Azul. It went quick. I was like, I'm not going to do 11 floors. I'm going to get on the elevator on like the 9th floor. So I was going to just send you the cake via delivery. And then I just sent it to my own house. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, well, now I can at least do a card. Right. Mm-hmm. And so then I was like, I guess I got to walk this over there. I was sweating. I'm hoofing around, carrying this full-size cake, and now I'm going down 11 flights of stairs.
Why didn't I ask more questions about this? It's like my brain knew that you delivered. You wrote the card. It was in a Milk Bar bag. It clearly had been picked up from Milk Bar. You knock so loud. Why do you knock like that?
I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to make sure you heard it. You like screamed from inside your apartment. You're like, who is it? And I ran.
It scared me, and I'm not standing outside my door being like, who is it? Also, it's my birthday. Like, it's probably somebody dropping off. It was the loudest knock I've ever heard.
Azul was like, are we seriously going down 11 flights? We would like to welcome our guest today.
Oh my God, am I gonna do like a whole intro for you? You guys,
Wait, have you planned this?
No, I really like sprung on me, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna do it right now. You guys, she's an icon. She's a legend. She's George's mom. She hails to us from Amsterdam and from Georgia. Her dad is a DJ. Her mom is super hot.
Her mom's an author, Rayna.
Her mom is an author. She's also an author, but she's hot. That's what I'm plugging right now. Her boyfriend is a yoked up king that Ashley and I call son.
What is this? She's our assistant and our show producer. She runs shit at these theaters. She's an absolute queen. She orders dick pinatas. She helps us with vibes only. She has tested out all the products. She's used the blow gel on her yoked up king.
Her boyfriend bought the blowjob gel and was like, when are you coming over?
Did you even give him a discount, Bella? Did he pay full price?
He paid full price?
He paid full price. Please welcome to the show,
Bella Swaak.
Hey. Hi. Oh my gosh. Come here, Azul.
The whole family's here. George is on your lap.
George is here.
Azul is thinking about coming up here to escape George.
Bella.
Yeah, George is a little too in love with Azul, honestly.
Bella, how do you feel? Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
You're going to be great. We're really excited to have you. You've been with us for 1 year. Mm-hmm. So this to celebrate your 1 year anniversary with us. We're going to talk about how you got this job. What were you doing before this? What you do at your job? Did your parents take it seriously? We're going to talk about your love life. So much stuff. Only stuff you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Just tell us if you don't want to think. This is just so funny. Like,
I'm excited. I know.
She's been sitting here this whole time. We're like, now you step into the chair. You sit in the chair.
So Bella, tell us about yourself. Where did you go to college? Where are you from?
Yeah. I'm 23. I went to Pace University in New York City. Studied arts and entertainment management. So yeah, I've kind of just been like in theater my whole life, and this just kind of worked out. Like, I don't know.
So you're a dual citizen.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah. So I was born in Amsterdam and then moved to Atlanta when I was 4 years old, and then grew up there, and then moved to New York about 5.5 years ago.
Okay. And you have one older brother.
It's Ashley's future husband.
Yeah,
so Ashley's my
game.
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Future sister-in-law.
It's funny that all three of us only have one sibling. It's one brother.
I know. It's going to be so weird when I'm Belle's boss and her sister-in-law.
Yeah. Then she'll have to be more your friend.
No, she won't. She will be family and she'll be more your friend.
There you go.
Like, Rayna's my friend. Ashley's my sister.
My family. We'll wait until the end.
Both of my sister-in-laws are just 6 feet tall. 6 feet.
That is crazy. I love rolling through airports with you two.
It's like two moms and their daughter.
I love doing anything with you two because you're just so much taller than I am.
Well, I mean, when we met Bella, I did not know she was so tall, and I just loved it. I was like, look at this tall queen. And we'll talk about it because she has a commanding presence, and we didn't know that she would need that when we hired her, but it's very important now to her job, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So we brought you on to be our assistant. You've become so much more than just like a gopher assistant. I mean, that's just not your job, and you've taken on so much. So like Ashley said, you are assistant, but you help us with booking guests, producing the show. You fully produce the live shows. Yeah. And so you have a theater background, which we didn't even know that you were going to have going in, and it's just worked out so well.
Well, I knew that. I knew her resume.
I didn't. Sorry. I'll take it back. Not we. Me.
Your resume was incredible. And then you had some dabbled in some sex work. No, I'm just kidding. But you worked at didn't you work at a clinic in college, or you did internships that were kind of related even to the content that we do?
Yeah, I was a peer advocate for sexual assault and interpersonal wellness. So I worked at my school and worked with the counseling center there to help survivors of sexual assault. And then was introduced to you guys.
When you went to college, what did you like? Do you remember when you were growing up, like a few years ago? What did you think that you wanted to like be when you grew up? Like, what were your aspirations?
I always wanted to be in theater, so I've always wanted to be in entertainment. When I went into college, I thought I was going to be more on stage, and then after my first year, I decided I wanted to be more like backstage, so more like theater management, and that was like exactly what my major was. And then after that, I think honestly during COVID, I was working on Broadway, and after that, it just wasn't the same. So I kind of wanted to take more of like an artist management approach. So always in the entertainment world, just a different.
So did you think you wanted to like be on Broadway?
Yeah.
Like, did you act and stuff as a kid?
Yeah. So I was in musical theater since I was 8 years old. I was always the lead in our musicals. No big deal. But like everyone thought
character energy.
Yeah, everyone thought I was going to be on Broadway. Like that's like what people would tell me. They'd be like, oh my God, so excited to see you on Broadway. And then I just got to college and was like, I do not want to do this. Like, this is too much.
This is for nerds. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I was totally like, I cannot be singing show tunes all the time. I have to stop.
Wait, can you sing? Do we know this?
Yeah, I used to sing.
Wait,
but
really?
I don't really do it anymore. Yeah, I used to do like sing, act, dance,
like
do it
J.Lo.
all.
I didn't know this.
Are you J.Lo?
Yeah, I'm
Triple threat,
J.Lo.
Bella? So you decided in college, like, I want to run shit. I don't want to like be on stage.
Yeah.
I want to be in charge of like running shit.
Yeah. I really liked the stage manager position, which is honestly kind of what I'm doing now. It's just like you're running everything. And I like being in charge. I like kind of bossing people around, honestly. And I feel like as an actor, you don't really have a lot of say in what you want to do. And I didn't want that anymore. So yeah, I decided I just wanted to be more like backstage and the person in charge of everything.
I mean, that's such a good call. Like, and you see that with actors, especially going into production and being on the other side of it, because they just like want to be more in charge, like want to control more instead of like just being told what to do, like a show pony. Like I don't. I mean, I'm the same way. I just like want to be in charge, like be the boss. So, how'd you get this job? The burning question everyone wants to know.
Everyone, that's literally the most asked question. Raquel from Sweet Peach in Atlanta. I worked for her over the summer and I was telling her that I was nervous to go back to New York because it was the middle of COVID and she...
This was 2020.
This was in 2020,
yes.
yeah. And I was telling her that I really wanted kind of like a mentor. And I don't even think you know this, honestly. I was saying I really want like a woman that's in like entertainment business and I want someone to be able to mentor me and kind of just show me like how to like have yourself be known in this like huge city. And she was like, oh my gosh, you have to meet Ashley. Like she used to work at Sweet Peach. Like I feel like you guys would just like really connect. She's also tall. I was like, oh my God, say less, Raquel. Okay. And then I slid into your email and was like, hey, can I please shadow you or like intern for you guys? And then I was ghosted for a year, but that's okay.
Oh my God,
then
Bella.
I slid back
So
in.
now I'm going to share my story.
Yeah.
This is like a relationship story.
Yeah.
So we'll back up to Raquel is the owner of the Sweet Peach Empire in Atlanta. She brought sugaring to Atlanta and I've talked about this all the time. Yeah, I think maybe now she might have franchised or two, but she is just, her story is so incredible. She came from Brazil. She's just really inspirational businesswoman. And I did her social media for a little bit, but I wrote about her and just was like an influencer for her and just brought her a lot of business. I mean, in her words, but I know that I did and just promoted her for years. And then I worked for her briefly on the social media side. And Bella, your mom is friends with her and you worked her in the salon when you were like a teenager.
Yeah, I was like 15, working the front desk.
Like I probably saw you.
Yeah,
you probably saw me.
All these women came in and was like, does a Brazilian hurt? I was like, no, girl, like get it. Like I don't know why anyone trusted me, honestly, but
asking a 15-year-old like about waxing your pussy, that's funny.
So funny. Yeah. She's like, no, it's fine. You'll be fine. Don't be a pussy. So yes, Raquel basically told me before you emailed and was like, I want you, she gave you such a glowing review. Obviously she was like, you have to trust me. Cause Raquel is like, and she's been an inspiration to me and we've stayed friends and, I've looked up to her too. And she was like, just trust me. She'll go above and beyond. She's going to be so great. And you emailed and it was the fall and we just didn't really have much going on. Like this was COVID. We were like, we tried to go out on tour a little bit, but everything we were doing was so manageable. So I responded to you.
Yeah,
I didn't know
you responded.
I did not respond. And then, but also you hadn't graduated yet. So it was like, we couldn't just hire you full time. Anyway, so bottom line is this was last spring of 2021. And Rayna and I are like, we're so overwhelmed with work. And we wanted to hire Ashley, who now does work for us full time. So we got her, but another woman named Ashley. And we were like having calls with her to hire her in more of a like higher up position. And I just was like, we cannot hire her until we have an assistant. We can't, we don't even have the capacity to take on anything that Ashley may bring us because no one can take anything off our plate. Like we actually can't add stuff to the plate till we take stuff off. Yeah. And so I was like, we have to hire an assistant. Ashley's on hold. That it has to happen. This is what we're doing. And I was like, I wonder if Bella is still around,
because it felt like, because Ashley, I remember the phone call so well. We had this call with other Ashley, and I was like so gassed up to hire her, and you like pumped the brakes, and you were like, we can't possibly do this. And I remember standing in my dad's kitchen, and I was like, God damn it, she's right. Like took the wind out of my sails.
Yes.
And then I thought like, this feels like an impossible task to like put it on our Instagram story and just like, because our audience is phenomenal, but it's all females. They're young. They're all smart, incredible women. I was like, how do we find somebody? And you were like, let's just talk to this girl, Bella.
Yeah. So we had a call, and I mean, you know, obviously you can speak on it from your point, but I just wanted to like feel you out. And I love talking to you. Your resume spoke for itself. I was like, is this bitch real? Is she catfishing us? Like this resume is insane. But obviously I trusted Raquel, and I remember asking you like at the end of the call, and then we met with you obviously in person. Rayna met you, but I was like, what do you think sets you apart like for this position? And you were like, I really do like being an assistant. Like, I really don't mind doing like the dirty work and like doing this stuff. I mean, not for life, but like, I was like, say less. Cause a lot of people don't want to do it. Like, not that we have Bella doing like picking up Azul shit with her bare hands. Yeah. But I was like, wow, okay. Cause I think some people might want to just work for us and like be in the podcast and be a podcast. Like, I don't know. It just it felt like I want to do this job. I'm really good at it.
You said I really like solving problems.
Yeah. I love solving problems. And I said I was a Virgo. So it's like my dream position to be in. Cause I'm like, let me organize everything, please. Like it makes me feel so much better.
That was it too. You said that in the call too. Like I am so organized, and I was like, that's what we need. Like do you like a spreadsheet? You're like a Virgo, you're like a yellow aura. I just don't think you should have a job like this if you're not like that. And I'm not really like that. That's not what I claim to be.
No. And those are the people that all the people that work for us that have been with us forever are the people that we give them a task and they like to solve it immediately. Our agents are like that too. That's why they've lasted with us so long. Like we send a text and they're like, we're on it. And that's the kind of help we need. And we will do a career episode, but I do want to talk about the things that like really attracted me to you as an assistant and an employee. We will do a whole episode about this, but I've done a lot of hiring and management in my life. I worked in restaurants. I managed huge staffs of people. I had to sort through hundreds of resumes sometimes and like figure out what I liked in people and not. And so I look for like certain things. And one of the things I look for is somebody who tells you what they can do for you. And it might sound simple, but Ashley and I get a lot of emails, which are really well-intentioned, but they say like, I'm obsessed with you girls. I'm obsessed with the brand. I'll do anything. And I'm at a dead end in my job and I don't love it. And I'll do anything. And those, like, I can't hammer it home enough, really well-intentioned, but that doesn't tell me anything about you, what you're good at and why you like the brand
and why we should
hire you. Because I understand that lots of people listen to this show and would love to work for a female-owned brand. It's a big show and it's fun and it looks like a great time. But number one, it's work. I don't want to hear an email that says like, I'll just be your bitch. Like, if you've sworn at me in an email, we have gone in the wrong direction. And I want to hear what your skill set is. And Bella was like, these are the things that I'm really good at that I can bring to your business that can really like level it up. And that's what I'm always looking for in an employee. That's what I always look for, is somebody's going to tell you what they can bring. I don't really want to hear how I can help you in your life. I know I'm going to help you in your life, you know?
Right. Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, like we get a lot of like, I hate my job. And it's like, yeah, all right. It's just like, okay, well, why would you think you'd be good at this one?
And my dad owns a headhunting company, so I've got a lot of advice from him. But I think if you're speaking negatively about your current employer, it's also a mistake. So I don't want to hear that you hate your job, you hate your coworkers, your employees. Like, I just want to hear like, I am good at this thing, and this is why I want to be a part of the brand, and here's why I can help you. And you were really great at that. I still remember you were like, I love solving problems, and you are so good at it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been like that. It's just something that I like doing. I like being able to solve problems. I like feeling like good in my job. And I know that the way to get a job is to send a professional email. and that was really important for me. And I didn't want to be like, I was a fan before, like I listened to the show and I wasn't going to be like, hey girls, like, what's up? Like I wanted a show that I could also be professional and not just like a fun person to be around.
I mean, we have found both, thank God. But like, it is like so important. I mean, yeah, we wouldn't have hired you if we didn't like you. I mean, Rayna was like, so tell us, like, what do you like to do on the weekends? Like, Rayna was trying to like feel you out on that first date.
So Rayna on the first at my interview, she goes, "So do you smoke?" I was like,
I said, "You smoke?"
Yes. And then you were like,
"Weed or cigarettes?"
Weed. And then you were like, "Okay,
really intrusive.
do you drink?" And I was like, I mean, like, no, I'm not like a partier, but like, yeah. Like, I didn't know how to answer it.
It's a weird job to interview for because like you're so involved in our lives.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we were going to enjoy you. Like it's a weird balance.
You asked about what kind of music she liked.
You were like, tell me about your music. I was like, Olivia Rodrigo, I guess. Like, I don't really know what to say.
You did it. Pass.
Well, you have, I mean, I'm saying like, I know people write us emails and they're like, hey bitches, and I'm like, you're not our friend. This is a place of business, but you know, you're like the perfect mixture. That's what we needed is somebody who can hang out with us and spend time with us. Cause you're with us a lot socially, but also this is a place of business. And even though your job is hiring strippers and listening to us talk about sex and booking some crazy guests, I mean, you're still at work. So you struck a good balance. You don't really drink a lot. You're not a big partier. I love that about you. You can drive us home when I've been drinking.
Oh my God. Well, Bella, how has your job evolved? What is it? What you expected? Like, why don't you describe your job?
Tell us about your job.
My job is a lot of different things. I think at the beginning, I definitely didn't expect it to grow the way that it has already. Like, I don't think you guys knew to the extent of how I would be involved with the shows.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I kind of just like took on and was like, let me just like prove that I can do this. Like at the first show, like I really just wanted to like make myself known and like be there to kind of like support. But yeah, I mean, I do a lot of different things, like hire the stripper, coordinate the dancers, make sure the venue's ready.
Well, you run the show.
Yeah. Run the cryo.
It's been such a dream. I mean, Rayna and I, we used to tour and we still tour. I'm saying we've done so many shows, 60 or 70 without Bella, maybe. And like, it just was always such a headache, like trusting these people at the venue who don't know us, like trying to give them like sound cues. And I was like, just always in my head, like, what if we had someone that came with us running the show and it seemed so unattainable? It seemed like an extra cost. And like, who is that person? And like,
what does that skill set look like?
Right. Yeah. And so we didn't see that coming either. And it's my absolute favorite thing that has happened. It's just like, I can't believe what we're able to do because we have you with sound effects and just like music on the spot and also you coordinating the venue. I mean, I think we said this on an episode, but I mean, it like gets me a little emotional. Like seeing Bella at the Beacon, just fucking run the Beacon, run the show, running up and down 8 flights of stairs.
Oh my God, that was the most workout I've ever gone.
I was like, I don't even know what's going on. And I just assume Bella's got it.
We had dancers, strippers, we had guests, we had a videographer, we had a photographer, we had
T-shirt guns,
so many people.
All of our family, all of our friends. Like it was just like, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, I guess we're
just hanging. And I will say, like at your age, I think of myself as being high functioning. I've always had jobs that I like killed it at. At your age, I could not have walked in a venue and done what you did. The way that you carry yourself, and I want you to talk about that because the way that you carry yourself at a venue, like I would have marched into a venue at 23 and been like, do this, and people would have been like, that's cute. Like, look at this little girl. And of course, you're a foot taller than I am, so just stature wise, you do look more like an adult. I look like a Beanie Baby. But how did you get to be like that?
Yeah, it took a lot of like watching how to communicate with these people. And I think it also did help that I have that theater background. So I know how these people function. I know what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. You just have to be as nice as you can. And then the minute they don't want like do what you want them to do, like that's when you have to be a little mean. And I feel like I'm not afraid to be a little mean to these people, especially because I'm usually the only woman in the theater at that point. And I think it does take a little like push to get these men to listen to me, especially when they ask me like, how old are you? And I have to be like, I'm 23.
None of your business,
sir. Like,
honestly, yeah.
But please do what I'm asking. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, like being tall definitely helps to kind of have a little more control in the room.
Do you feel like your parents like empower? You seem really grown up in these situations in a way that I just don't think I was. So do you feel like your parents like empowered you to be a little more like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like my parents, my school, like I went to a very like hippie school.
At Pace or like,
at my high school.
Did you go to Padea?
I went to Galloway.
Oh, okay.
In Atlanta. And it was like a very liberal arts school. Like if a teacher did something that you didn't like they encouraged you to speak up about it. So it was something that I felt very comfortable doing. My parents always told me to speak out if something was happening or if something was going wrong. Like my parents were always just very like open with everything. Everything was like a conversation, like nothing was off the table to talk about. And I'm so grateful for that. And I mean, my dad always taught me like how to communicate with like people in business and like in the business world. And I don't know, he was the one that taught me like how to write a cover letter and how to email professional emails. Like both my parents had such a big impact on that too. Just the confidence that they gave us.
Yeah. I've always had trouble like giving people control. It's hard to like let go, you know? And so it's like hard to let people like have access to your emails and stuff. Like it's just kind of like it's been a slow learning to like pass off stuff like and like fully trust.
When you started, we were like, are we going to give her the password for the email? Or are we going to like give her the password for the Instagram? Like it really was hard to trust somebody because Ashley and I ran this business by ourselves for so many years. And like Ashley and I share an email address. I don't have to trust anybody else. Like it's just her. So like to let somebody else email on our behalf was like very scary to me. Confirm interviews, like make sure that stuff got done. Like you take on everything and like you're trustworthy. We asked you to do something, you do it. And I remember I said that to you like really early on. I was like, the reason why Ashley and I function so well together is that like, I never tell her I'm going to do something and don't do it and vice versa. And I think that's why we have such a good relationship. And you're very much like that. You never say you're going to do something and don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I just don't want to lose y'all's trust. Like that's like really important to me. Like I do want to be like friends with y'all, but also maintain like a professional like relationship. You guys are so shocked that I said that.
You don't want to be our friend.
No, she doesn't. One of the questions was like, how do you how do you manage working for them when you just are dying to be their best friend? We're like, she does not.
I'm not even sure Bella likes us sometimes. Like, does she want to be my friend? I don't know. I feel like
it's more of like a big sister relationship. Like that's what it's like turned into.
I mean,
I love it.
So close. Like it just like, Bella knows everything about us. I mean, we've just been in the car for so many hours. Like we've been in so many airports. Like we've been in so many hotels. Like I feel like I understand when you start working for us, I understand why people become like so close with their team, like the Kardashians and like all those people like that are best friends with their hairstylists, their makeup people, like their tour manager. You know, I was like, I get it. Like these people become family. They're just the like level of closeness when you do that type of thing together, when you're like traveling on tour together.
Yeah.
Also, I do like the boundary that you've set. You won't be our friend because like we're not your friend, we're your boss. We're your friends. Yeah. We're friendly, of course, but like I feel like I have an employee have had bosses in the past that were like too friendly with me, and it blurs the line in a weird way that I'm like, you can't ask me to do this now because I've seen you like snort coke at 3 a.m. and I'm not interested. And you do draw a boundary, and I think it's the best for the business. I mean, honestly,
it's just weird. I did have a boss like that I think she was dealing with like a midlife crisis, and it was like she definitely wanted to like keep me and the other intern out socially. Like when our work was done, I'm like, I want to go home, or I want to go out with my friends. I don't want to drink with you.
Right.
Like I would never like just. I feel like I started working for myself fully on my own at 27. I never worked for anybody again. But I did have bosses that I just was like, I just never want to be like them. Like I learned stuff from all of them, but there was things from all of them. I was like, I just never want to be that person.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that you feel like you can tell me that we don't try to like annoy you on the weekends about stuff or at night unless something like really needs to get done. But I think we like draw the boundary. I mean, you know everything about us, but
I feel like you guys know a lot about me. Like I tell you guys my tea.
We do. All the tea. Yeah. So somebody said like, what does your family think about this job? Is it hard for them to take it seriously? Do you feel like the people in your life, your friends, your parents, do you think they take it seriously?
Yeah, I think I both my parents for sure take it seriously. I mean, they're both like in the creative field, so that they really do understand my job and know how much I love it. So of course they're going to support me. I think maybe more of some of my like conservative family is like a little more like, oh my God, you talk about sex for a job? Like what? But I mean, yeah, everyone takes my job seriously and is just happy for me and like what I'm doing. And all my friends are super supportive, and it's been interesting, especially with my friends that are fans. Like they just get really excited every time I post something, but it's been fun.
Well, Bella, people want to know like advice for people your age, like out of college, who want a fulfilling job or rather than just like a desk job. I mean, what do you say?
I've seen a lot of my friends that are super miserable in their jobs, and I tell them the same thing. Like you just gotta like tell your family what you want to do, and honestly just kind of try and go for it and keep applying to jobs and make those connections. I feel like a lot of people our age are just kind of scared to reach out to random people. And I think that's such a normal thing to do in the business space. Like it's so normal to message someone on LinkedIn or through email or anything. And I don't know. I think it's super important to like love what you do, not just do it for the money or the title of the job. That's been a huge thing with me. Like I've always wanted to work in entertainment. I know it's hard to work in this career and this space, but it's something that's makes me super happy and is super fulfilling for me. And that's what I want to continue doing.
You had 2 pieces of advice I think is so good. Talk to your family. Like, do you feel like the people around you, like they're what they really want to do, their family might not take it seriously?
Yeah, I think a lot of my friends struggle with their family not really accepting what they want to do and their family pushing them to do more traditional jobs because that's what the family is used to as well. And
which is just like the game has changed in terms of like career. I mean, there's so many different careers that didn't even exist when I was like in college. I mean, we didn't even have like social media really, but I mean, I think something about you is like, we were talking about this and you were like a little bit of his luck from like Raquel and just having the personal connection, not luck, I guess, just like having an in, but it goes back to like you working for her and doing such a good job for her. And I don't know if you knew at the time that like being so aligned with her would help you down the road. Like, could you feel that like she was a woman that was like connected, or were you not really privy to that at like as a 16-year-old?
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking about that at 15. I think at 15, I was like, my mom told me to get a job and I was like, shit, okay, I guess I'll work in this waxing salon.
It's so important. Yeah. Like every job I've ever gotten is like the connection from the previous job or like, it's like, I always said that, like, I don't know that they even stress in college how much of jobs and a fulfilling career is connections and making people like you and working hard. Like it's truly this like work hard and be nice to people mindset. It's like people like you, they recommend you, you do a good job for them. Like, and you're on to the next. Like to me in my whole life, it's connections. Like,
my dad said to me, make people like you and never burn a bridge. And it's been like just the best. That's how I've lived my life. I try to be nice to everybody. I'm professional. I have a good positive relationship with every boss I've ever had, except for one place. And I was really unhappy there. But other than that, I've never burned a bridge. I could go back to any place I ever worked. And you did such a good job for her that she was happy to recommend you. Like you're lucky in the sense that you knew her, but I mean, she wasn't recommending other employees of hers. She recommended you. Like, and that's because she trusted you so much. Yeah. And with family stuff, I think it's just all about how you pitch what you're doing. Like my family did not understand that I had a job at Amazon. I was making a ton of money. It's a really prestigious company. I was like, I'm going to go be a food blogger. My parents were like, what the fuck? But like, I explained like how much money you can make from advertising. I bought a camera. I learned how to be a photographer. I built a website. I learned how to write. Like if you explain it that way, then it doesn't sound so silly. Yeah. It's like, I've learned all these skills. It's a legit job. It's an emerging market. It's going to have success. And I think I'm going to be good at it. If you just explain it like that, then nothing is silly.
But also like you asked Raquel about this, like, do you know somebody, I'm looking for this thing. Like some people wouldn't even have thought to ask that, you know? So it's like you were thinking, like it just never hurts to ask, like get people's wheels turning about how they could help you.
Yeah, definitely when I was like older working for Raquel again, like at 21, 22, that's when I was thinking about it more. And I mean, I've only worked for women and that has also been a game changer because I feel like working with women is just like, can you help me? Like we both want to help each other. And Raquel has been a huge influence in that and just like help me connect me with you. Yeah.
The thing with the parents too, I always use this example. I remember the first time when I was just basically doing like Bros Being Basic I was doing stand up and other things too, but that was like my main income source. I remember telling my uncle my uncle's amazing, but he started an airline. He was a Navy pilot. Like he's not going to understand my life. And I just remember telling him how much I made on like one post and like it clicked for him. Like a lot of that is like, I work in this industry that's like a multi-million dollar, whatever. Like sometimes these like more traditional family members need to know that like, this is lucrative. Like at least the industry is lucrative. Like Bella's like, I'm managing a world tour, you know, like a lot of that is just the pitch to the family. And like, this is a real industry in the world.
Yeah. People will think of you the way you speak about yourself. Yeah. So you could joke around and be like, I book strippers and I go through the slideshow. I get the t-shirt cannons. I mean, you can speak of it like that, but you also produced a show at the Chicago Theater, which is the greatest stage you could ever hope to perform on in the United States. And like, you did that. So to be able to, you can pitch things. I think about that a lot when I talk about myself because I'm very likely to be sarcastic, joke around, but people listen to what you say about yourself. So you can control the messaging.
So one thing we talked about this before, I just think that we both think this, that you carry yourself so well and you just like walk with such an air of confidence. You don't slouch, you dress like, you know, you don't try to hide yourself at all. And it just from someone who was like so tall, also you're taller than me, like, and was self-conscious about it growing up. I was just like, were you ever self-conscious about this? You know, when you were taller than all the boys, and like, how did you become so confident?
Yeah. I mean, definitely middle school, it sucked. I mean, I was always the tallest girl. All the guys were so short compared to me. I was always the tallest in the class, but I've always been surrounded by really tall women. I mean, one of my cousins is literally 6'5". So like, it's just always been normal. Like, I'm Dutch, so it's just a country full of tall people in general. My mom's super tall. Everyone in my life is just so large, honestly. Like, we're all so big. So it's just always been normal. And like, my best friend's super tall. So it's just surrounding yourself with these people that are also confident in themselves has been a huge game changer.
And you're like a little taller than your boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm an inch taller, but I don't think he believes.
No, you guys look amazing together, but that's something that some women would feel like insecure about too, or a guy would, you know. Like, I think it's it's changed a lot. Don't get it
I was about to say, I feel
but
like it's changed so much, because I also feel like I used to honestly say I was 5'11" on my dating apps, and then like last minute I was like, whatever, I'll switch it to 6 foot, see what happens. And so many guys are like, oh my God, tall legs, so hot. And they're like short kings.
We talked
These
about
short
this
kings
too.
with the tall girls.
I was going through Bella's dating apps. By the way, I chose her boyfriend. I picked him. I was like, he's the one, and he was. What do you know?
Wait, what car? Where were we in the car?
Where were we going somewhere?
to?
And I was like, he's the one that I like of all the ones. But we'll talk about Bella's dating life. But I loved that too. It looks different. 5'11" looks way different than 6 feet.
Yeah,
It gives you a different energy. And so it's just like to confidently be like, yeah, I'm 6 foot. What about it? Bella was crushing it on the app.
I know. And you dress really well for your body. Like, you're not trying to like wear all black and slouch. And I say that having grown up with enormous breasts, trying to hide an asset of my body. So you dress so nice. Like, you come to the event, you dress up for the live shows. No one made you do that, but I love that you do that. Like,
it's one of Rayna's favorite things.
You could wear black stretch pants and a black t-shirt. It wouldn't matter to me. Nobody sees you, but like, you're running the show. You show up in a look. You have this like red one shoulder, like
that was the best one. The Chicago outfit.
Yeah, you wear like leather shorts. You wear like a little booty. Like, I love that you show up and you're like, yeah, I'm tall and I'm going to draw attention to myself by looking fucking fly.
Yeah. I mean, that's also something that I love doing in a venue, is dressing up, because then I feel like when I show up at sound check in my leggings, no one's taking me seriously. But the minute I show up in my outfit, they're like, "Oh, hello, who are you?"
Too. People have introduced themselves to Rayna and I again because they didn't realize we were the same girls from the sound check. We're like, it's us. They're like, nah. We're like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the same 5 foot tall and 6 foot tall two people that walked in here earlier. I stay walking in there looking so ugly.
Oh my God. Let's talk about your dating life.
Okay, so somebody asked, how has your dating life changed since joining GGE? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the growth as much as you're comfortable.
Well, listen,
I was just like,
I'll
take stuff you're not comfortable about
from here. No, we met Bella and she was in a serious relationship with someone that we were scared she was gonna move to be with. I mean, we were like, what's this girl gonna do? You know, I mean, and you did see a future. Like, this was your college boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, it was like my first really serious boyfriend. And I think it's really hard not to get a little too excited about the future with someone when you're in a serious relationship. And it was COVID. Like, we only focused on each other. So I did see that maybe going a little longer than it did. And then the minute I started working here and kind of discussing my relationship a little more, I was like, okay, this is not
the
right relationship. No, not at all. I mean, I would listen to conversations that you guys were having and I was like, what is happening in my relationship is not how a relationship should be. Like, I talked to Rayna about this a lot. Like, I was saying that I always thought that I had an anxious attachment style. I was always crying. I was always just so upset and so insecure in my relationship. And then the minute I was out of that relationship and with someone that was a little more communicative and open about how they were feeling, and we had open conversations about our relationship. Like, my current boyfriend, we asked each other, like, okay, how can we be better for each other? Like, what do you need? What can I do? And that's been so amazing. And I feel so secure with him. And that's such a fun feeling. So, I mean, I feel like I've learned a lot about relationships and kind of just how to have a successful one and not feel
anxious and and like upset.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like hearing bits and pieces and we were like, all right, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is the right thing. Like, we just want her to be happy, you know? And I mean, I do think like you sit in here, you listen to the show, you're getting a crash course in relationships, and not just from us, from like the guests we're having on. I mean, you're getting a lot of info that you're not getting from your 22-year-old friends as no fault of their own. But like, if you're just kind of surrounding yourself with people that are in the same place in life, you have no reason to think that something might not be how it should be in a healthy adult relationship.
Yeah.
So you guys did end things and you got out there.
Yeah. Was there something that you can talk about it as much as you want, but was there like a couple of cracks you saw outside of the anxiety that you felt that you were like, I just don't want to do this?
I mean, yeah, there was a lot of different things that were happening that I mean, again, like the minute I started talking to people about it, they were like, this is not normal. Like, I don't know if this is like the way you should be feeling in a relationship. And I think the more I talked about it, the more I was like, okay, like this is not right. And I did a lot of like self-reflecting and got into therapy and kind of just like talked about it a lot more. And that's when I realized I was like, okay, this is like not the kind of relationship that I want to be in anymore. And yeah, then I got on the dating apps.
Okay. So when we met you, it was like really serious. And you obviously didn't have this job. So can you talk about like his support of this job and his like viewpoint of this job?
Yeah. He did not necessarily support what I was doing with this job. He did not think it was a real job. I mean, he also thought that this was the reason I broke up with him and the reason that I was starting to kind of just like have these realizations. And I do think that like having these conversations with you guys and hearing what you guys were talking about on episodes, I was like, okay, maybe yes, like I'm taking this into consideration, but it was also so many other different things. But having someone that isn't going to support me in my job, and this is a field that I want to continue in for the rest of my life in the entertainment field, I was like, okay, I can't be with someone that's not going to support me in my job and my career that I want to go on.
Yeah, it's like, it's not stupid. It's what I want to do. You tell me it's not a real job. It's the job I've chosen.
Well, and you guys were not in the same city at the time. I mean, he obviously, you know, it was a lot of like, when are you moving here? I mean, and you were like, well, I love New York and I love this job. And it's like, it just is. And no matter anyone that's listening to this, I mean, I always think about like Heather McMahon as like one of the couples that I just think that they're so great. And like her and Jeff followed their dreams and lived in different cities. Like someone that you're with that supports you should never even bat an eye if you're like, I love this job. I feel so glad to have it in this, and I'm going to stay in this city and do this job. Like someone that is a good partner is going to be like, absolutely, we'll figure it the fuck out. Not like, well, you should quit and be with me.
Yeah.
So it ended and you dated and it didn't feel like your goal was to get another boyfriend, but lo and behold, this yoked up king came into
a literal king.
I mean, it's just so funny because I really felt like
I feel like I was having a moment.
I don't think any of us saw it coming. Like I just was like, this is her single, like Sex in the City, New York life starting. Like you were going out on these dates. Like if you had a bagel in the morning, we knew that the night had been kind of crazy. And like, it just, I love the story because well, you tell it, but it was a matter of like the person, the right person.
Yeah. I got back on Hinge and every week I had a lineup of dates and be like, okay, Monday I have this guy, Wednesday I have this one, Friday I have this one. I mean, they were honestly awful, but I feel like I needed to go on these dates with these random people. And then I had one on a Wednesday with the guy that I'm currently dating. And I went on the date and I got back home and I was like, oh my God, like, fuck, I ruined it. Like, I can't be on Hinge anymore. Like, I have to delete Hinge for this guy.
I didn't know that you felt like that after date one.
So I was like super secretive about it because my roommates were always like, okay, like, are you going to keep going on other dates? And I was like, I think I'm going to like pause a little. Like, I don't know if I want to keep going on other dates. And they're like, do you like him? I was like, guys, like, no, like, stop. Like, like I didn't want to like really show that I really, really liked him. And we just kept going on dates. And honestly, I thought he was just trying to fuck, honestly. And I mean, all my friends that were seeing us go on these dates, they were like, no, he's obviously looking for a relationship. And I was like, we'll see. I don't know. And then, I mean, the more dates we went on, the more I was like, oh my God, like I'm dead over this person. Like, yeah, he's just a king. Like, he's an icon.
He was really intentional about the relationship.
That's such a good word. Yeah.
And you were like, he's always making these plans. He made like dinner plans. He has like a movie night plan.
Yeah.
We have like taco night plan.
Taco
like,
nights are so cute.
And he's really intentional about like wanting to be with you, wanting to make plans. He like future trips a little bit in a good way. Like it wasn't too much.
No, it's the best way. Like I love that every time we're leaving, he's like, okay, so like let's hang out again on Friday, or like let's think about our next plan that we're gonna do. And it's such a nice feeling instead of me having to be like, okay, so like when am I gonna see you again?
Yeah.
Like it's such a nice feeling to be with someone that like obviously wants to be with me too, and that like also plays a huge part in me feeling more secure in this relationship.
So we had a little bout of the ick. People want to hear about it. It wasn't anything serious.
No, it wasn't anything serious.
People want to hear about it.
We teased it already.
They wanted to hear it. It was on the questions. I had the ick for about probably like 3 days, honestly. It wasn't long. It was a quick little ick, and it was in the beginning when I was still like trying. Quick ick. I was trying to tell myself that I didn't like him, but like deep down, I was like, oh my god, I really like him.
That's how you were with us too.
He two things. He asked me to mount his TV, and I was like, I'm not a TaskRabbit.
He asked you to mount the TV.
Well, he asked me to help mount the TV, and I was like no. And then he also kept sending the sparkle emoji, and I was just a little confused.
That sparkle emoji.
The sparkle emoji, yeah. And then I think like 3 days later, I asked him, I was like, so what's up with you and the sparkle emoji? Like, why do you keep sending me this? And he was like, no, it's just like, that's like, he said something really cute. He's like, that's how you make me feel. Like, you just like make me so happy. Like, I don't know, something cute. And I was like, oh, it gone.
I mean, just everything you're saying, it's just how it should be. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. It's not that easy to find, but just the pure intentional security of it all. I'm like, I want to be with you. I'm going to make plans. Like, there's no questioning. I mean, you were saying that you guys have like, you don't fight a lot, but like you've had some conflict that you've worked through so well.
Yeah,
like,
we've just like miscommunications, and it's been so amazing. Like, I'll call him immediately once there's a miscommunication, and I'm like, okay, this is why I'm upset. And it's so nice to hear him be like, okay, can you tell me exactly what upset you, and so I don't do it again? Like, I want to know what exactly triggered your anxiety in this text so that I can prevent you having this anxiety again. And it's such an amazing quality to have that he has. Like, he's able to just kind of talk about it in a mature way instead of just being like, well, why are you anxious? Like, I don't understand why you're anxious.
It should just feel easy. Like we said in the episode a few weeks ago, like, can you turn these like quasi situations into a relationship? Maybe, but like anybody I've ever been in love with, it's just been easy. I didn't have to like guess, you know?
Yeah. He also just really does such nice things. Like, remember he saying that burrito? The burrito really got me.
No, he's just like the nicest person.
He's Postmated a burrito over
in Kansas City. It wasn't in the apartment. It wasn't here. Also, like he really, unlike, I mean, I never met your ex, so I can't speak to him, but the current boyfriend really wants to be a part of this job and the shows. He's come to multiple of Ashley's shows. Like, he really wants to be a part of it. Like, he came to meet us that morning at the hotel in LA for breakfast, like before he went to the airport. Like, he really wants to make a good impression on the people in your life.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's been so nice. Like, I mean, I've met his friends, and it's been so fun getting to know them and being a part of their friend group. But also, it's like he met some of my very best friends from my study abroad, and it was so amazing. He was like, I'm so nervous. Like, I'm so excited to meet them. And I was like, oh my God, this is like so cute. Like, I love that he like wants to get to know them, and like, he'll quiz me. He's like, okay, so the one that lives here is like named this. Like, he just wants to be a part of it. And that's been so amazing. He like my parents, like, it's just been really nice, like having someone to integrate into my life in such a like fun, easy and healthy way. Like, we always say that's like, this is the easiest relationship we've been in. And that's such a fun feeling too.
And you waited a little bit to hard launch him.
Yeah, I did. And
he launched you before, right? He was like,
I haven't been hard launched on his.
He was on a standoff with Bella. He was like, I'm gonna wait till she says I love you. I'm gonna wait till she hard launches.
Yeah,
she's hard to read.
I love you first too.
When you knew he like was,
he was dying to say it.
Yeah,
Bella, you're hard to read. You know, I was like, this guy doesn't know if you like him or not.
But it was a long time, which I also respect too. Like, I think that you are both really intentional And like, there's no need to like, oh my God, we're so in love. We're on social media. You know, like it's just like, we're enjoying each other. None of it's for show.
No.
Well, I mean, I think to wrap up this interview, we should just directly ask you the question everybody wants to know, and you can answer it politically correctly. Are you more Rayna or Ashley's friend?
I'm more Rayna's friend in the morning because that's when she's awake. And then I'm Ashley's friend in the late afternoon because that's when she works the most.
Okay. So here's the thing. You can say whatever you want. We're not going to be offended. It's not who do you like more. I don't want to know the answer to that ever, to keep it to yourself. But it's like, who do you relate to more?
Well, I don't need her to answer this.
Like in personal life or like sex?
No, I think that Bella and I are alike because we are really into hydration. We're fruit connoisseurs.
Yes.
We're both really tall. We wear the same outfit half the time, and we read fiction. Why do you think Bella's more your friend?
I didn't write a list. I guess she could be more your friend. I didn't write a list.
I'm just
Rayna and I travel together.
We travel alone a lot together.
Yeah. We
I like Bella because she's tall and she blocks for me at the airport.
She holds onto my backpack so I can like lead her through traffic. Oh my God.
I like Bella because she is a secret hot dog food blogger.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We found out about Bella's hot dog blog.
She is a hot dog influencer. I spend a lot of time with you just talking about like your love life and your dating life, and I enjoy it, and I think that you want to learn, and I really appreciate that, and I see myself in that because like, yes, I was very small in stature at your age as I am now, but I always wanted to like march in there, kill it, do the best job, outperform everybody, and like no one was going to outperform me anywhere I went ever. So I relate in that to you because like you don't want to like fuck off and just like get drunk and sleep with a ton of guys and be sloppy, and like I wanted to do that, but I also like it was my primary goal was to like crush it professionally. So I really relate to that in you.
Let's just wrap it up though with George because we didn't even bring him up at all.
Our king.
Just do you want to give us a little George backstory?
I got George about 2 years ago. He's literally my pride and joy, my little son. I love him so much. He is obsessed with Azul.
Yeah.
Like romantically.
Like romantically.
Yeah,
like
that's a
licks all up in his mouth.
And you travel with him.
Yeah, I bring him to Amsterdam. Like I bring him to Atlanta all the time. I mean, he's just always with me. He's
such
the
a little
best
angel.
Well, Bella, we love you. It's been a great year with you. Thank you for everything you do for us. You've made our business better. So, you know, we are just so happy to have you with us.
Yeah.
And make our lives better also. Not just our business.
Yes, all of our businesses.
Yes, Bella works on vibes too.
She's tasted the blow gels. Bella, any final words or just
follow my TikTok journey?
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Let's. Yeah. Plug
Bella,
your
plug all your things. Tell us your website and your hot dog blog.
Your TikTok. Is that where you want people to direct?
Yeah. Follow me on my TikTok journey. It's Bella.Swaak. And then on Instagram, I'm Bella Swaak.
Okay. Follow Bella, and she recently went pretty viral, so it was really cute.
No big deal. I went viral on TikTok twice.
And SWAAK, if you guys are curious. And of course, you know where to find us. You can find everything you need about Girls Gotta Eat at girlsgottaeatpodcast.com. Vibes Only is vibesonly.com. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram. Vibes Only on Instagram. This is a weird order to do this in. No one's paying attention anymore. It's too many things to tag, but let's keep going with it. I am Ash Has on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Rayna is Rayna Greenberg. Girls_gotta eat on Twitter. Also Vibes Only on Twitter.
Do you want to plug your personal website too? You can find Ashley on tour at her personal
website. You can find my tour dates at ashhas.com. I will be announcing a Denver date coming soon and Atlanta as well. What else can we do?
Vibes Only has a TikTok too.
Vibes Only on the App Store and also Android coming soon.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we got it. You think we got it all?
You guys got that?
OGGE. And we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.